The sun cast its final warm embrace on Harvest Grove, a town steeped in tradition and bound by the gentle rhythms of nature. However, as the autumn leaves painted the landscape in hues of amber and crimson, a somber undercurrent whispered of an impending Thanksgiving, one that would be etched into the town's history by the return of the Ghostly Gobbler. The ancient clock tower, weathered by time and witness to countless seasons, struck midnight with an eerie resonance. The tolling marked not just the passage of hours, but the beginning of a centennial ritual, awakening the vengeful spirit that lurked in the shadows of Harvest Grove's past. A disconcerting gobble resonated through the crisp autumn air, a sound that seemed to emanate not from the living, but from the very soul of the town. It was a prelude to the Ghostly Gobbler's return, a spectral call that sent shivers down the spines of even the most stoic townsfolk. From the historic fields where the town's ancestors had once gathered in joyful celebration, an ethereal fog slinked into Harvest Grove. It wound its way through narrow streets, carrying with it the echoes of past Thanksgivings and the promise of a malevolent force about to be unleashed. Feathers, darker than the star-studded night, materialized within the mist. The ghostly eyes of the vengeful turkey glowed with an intensity that seemed to pierce through the fabric of reality. The Ghostly Gobbler was not just a harbinger of misfortune, it was a manifestation of the town's unresolved history. Panic seized the townsfolk as they hurriedly constructed an altar in the town square, their offerings now including not only symbols of abundance, but also relics from bygone eras. It was a desperate attempt to appease a force that cared not for the trinkets of the living, but sought a reckoning with the sins of the past. Unmoved by the townspeople's desperate gestures, the Ghostly Gobbler pressed forward. Its unearthly gobbles, more lament than a festive tune, reverberated through the night, echoing the grievances that had long been buried, but now clawed their way back to the surface. Families, once united in the joy of Thanksgiving, now huddled together in fear. They watched as the ethereal turkey's relentless advance continued, transforming a celebration of gratitude into a spectral battleground where the living and the dead clashed in a silent war. The town square, now blanketed in an oppressive silence, became the theater for a macabre performance. The Ghostly Gobbler approached the altar with a regality that seemed to mock the feeble attempts of the townspeople to subdue its vengeful spirit. Candles flickered wildly, casting grotesque shadows that danced with the malevolent spirit. The flickering light, once a symbol of warmth and familial togetherness, now framed a scene of terror, as if the very flames themselves recoiled from the approaching darkness. A collective gasp echoed as the Ghostly Gobbler's spectral form shifted, its gaze filled with ancient resentment, pierced through the darkness, singling out those who had neglected the sacred tradition. The spectral presence exposed not just neglect, but the skeletons in the town's collective closet. Unseen forces, colder and more insidious than the autumn breeze, tugged at the feasters, compelled to stumble towards the spectral turkey, their faces etched with terror. They became unwilling participants in a ghastly puppet show, manipulated by a malevolent force with no regard for their pleas. The cursed individuals entrapped in a nightmarish fate were drawn closer to the Ghostly Gobbler. Their fates, now sealed by the malevolent spirit, were a testament to the insidious nature of the town's past sins, a reckoning that had manifested in the form of a relentless and spectral pursuer. The air grew colder, and the town square transformed into a surreal tableau of chaos. Yet amidst the chilling pandemonium, the Ghostly Gobbler exacted its revenge. Its feathers brushed against the cursed feasters, leaving an otherworldly chill in its wake, a touch that seared their very souls. As swiftly as it had emerged, the spectral turkey retreated into the foggy night. Its ghostly form gradually faded away, leaving the town haunted not only by the echoes of its own negligence, but also by the indelible mark of a malevolent force that refused to be forgotten. The surviving townspeople, forever marked by the harrowing events, somberly renewed their commitment to the ancient tradition. Their hearts, heavy with the weight of a spectral curse, also bore the scars of a night that had torn away the illusion of normalcy, revealing the supernatural underbelly of their seemingly idyllic town. With each passing Thanksgiving, the centennial celebration loomed, bringing with it a potent mix of fear and reverence for the ghostly gobbler. The town, once bound by the joys of feasting, now grappled with an unsettling truth: that Thanksgiving was a fragile truce between the living and the spectral, a night when the line between worlds blurred. The tales of the cursed feasters and the ethereal presence of the vengeful turkey became cautionary legends, passed down through generations. They were more than just stories. They were a chilling reminder that, in Harvest Grove, tradition was not merely a cultural practice, but a contract with the supernatural, a pact that demanded respect and adherence. Harvest Grove, now synonymous with the mysterious and macabre, bore the scars of that fateful Thanksgiving night, its legacy forever entwined with the enduring tale of the Ghostly Gobbler. Became a dark pilgrimage site for those who sought to understand the depths of the supernatural that lay hidden beneath the town's veneer. Through the years, as the town aged, the Ghostly Gobbler's legend persisted, a spectral specter looming over Harvest Grove. It ensured that the town's haunted history would never be forgotten. The specter, however, was not just a harbinger of doom, but a mirror reflecting the town's own capacity for darkness, forcing its inhabitants to confront the shadows within themselves. Harvest's haunting, the centennial curse of the Ghostly Gobbler, stood as a chilling chronicle of the town's eternal struggle against the malevolent forces that lurked in the shadows of the holiday feast. Yet within that struggle, there emerged a chilling acknowledgement, an acceptance that the Ghostly Gobbler was not merely a supernatural entity, but a manifestation of the town's own unresolved sins. A reminder that Thanksgiving was not just about feasting, but about comforting the ghosts that lingered within.